Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even notice you there. I'm back for my next review. Your next review? Megatron, is that you? I don't think I've reviewed you before. What? No, not Megatron. I am Galvatron. Yeah, okay, sure you are. I am. The last time that I saw Galvatron, he was wearing this terrible outfit. You're not wearing an outfit that looks anything like this. This makes me want to say bad words and throw it against the wall. You look kind of sleek. Oh, why, thank you. Okay, so I'll give benefit of the doubt. Let's assume for a second you are Galvatron. What's with the new get-up? I bought it for my movie. Your movie? Oh wait, right, you were in Transformers Age of Extinction, weren't you? That's right. Big movie star now, hey? Of course. Well, you know what? I'll give you another shot. I mean, you can't be any worse than this thing, right? So we're going to take a look at Transformers Age of Extinction Voyager class Galvatron. Yay! Oh, Lord. Okay, welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. Thanks for coming back and having a look and having a visit. Please, by all means, check me out across social media. Check out Machinery of Man, the third part in that ongoing monthly series just went up. And, of course, check out my first novel, The Everything Factor. And this is Transformers Age of Extinction Voyager class Galvatron. I know, he doesn't really look like Galvatron. But we're going to measure him as we measure everything. You know, paint apps, posability, playability, and of course transformation. Okay, if we were looking at this guy as a movie version of, you know, a reformatted Megatron, I'd probably give his paint apps a high grade. I'd probably give him about a 9. It's pretty good. Big arm cannon, even though I think it should be up here, but whatever. As Galvatron, 3. It's nothing. It doesn't put me in the mind of Galvatron at all. Then again, the movie version of Galvatron didn't put me in the mind of Galvatron. So if his paint apps are a 3, is he a bad figure? No. Is there a way his paint apps could have scored higher? This might sound strange, but overall of this silver coloring, if there was a wash of purple, not enough that it's a purple, but enough that you'd look at him and say, hey, he almost seems like he has a tinge of purple on him. I think I could have really enjoyed this figure more. I do like the head sculpt. The head sculpt is kind of Galvatron-ish. Now, besides for that wash of purple, just enough to give it just a touch of purple on the silver, this blue gun piece should have been orange. If that blue gun piece had been orange and he had that wash of silver, I probably would have given his paint apps an 8. And said, yeah, you know what, I can see what they were going for. It's pretty good. But as it is, his paint apps are 3. You would think that the big, you know, opening in his chest would, you know, deter me from this figure. Not really. I don't really even notice it. I don't really know why it was there in the movie or in the figure, but whatever. You would think that's where his spark would be. But that's neither here nor there. Posability, playability. Well, in truck mode, he rolls really good, and that's when he turns into a truck. I think it's an Argosy cab over, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong there. So certainly doesn't look like this G1. Okay, this isn't really G1, but it's more G1 than this thing is, and Oh, that thing was terrible. Um, Posability, playability, like I said, he rolls like a champ. The head, turns left and right. It can look up a bit. It can look down a bit. The arms, they go, well out to the side. If you want a little more side movement, I mean, the shoulder pieces here move up and down. If that's any good to you. The arms ratchet up. They could ratchet back if it wasn't for the backpack. There's a nice bicep swivel. Nice deep elbow bend. Fantastic elbow on this guy. No wrist articulation, but I can forgive it. This over here, again, all the same movement. It looks like the gun is coming out of his arm, which is the way it's supposed to look. And I think they've done a pretty decent job, at least from front on. From side on, not so much. You can tell he's just holding a gun in his hand. And this, this gun comes out, and if you pull back on this thing here, it fires a very good distance. Excellent spring in it. This is the molding on it. Not bad. I just think that it should have been more. Even if you left this silver and just made the little button and the missile orange, it would have been a lot better. Also, if it could have somehow, went on his forearm, say, that would have looked a lot better too. But, I mean, all they had to do was really put a hole in here, but, they didn't, so whatever. Moving on. Legs go out to the side about that far. So, not bad, not great. I mean, he's not going to be a gymnast, but not bad. There is they ratchet forward, they ratchet back, and, again, if it wasn't for the backpack, they could go back even further. Is there a swivel? Yeah, there's a swivel. Is there two swivels? No, there's a swivel way up by the hip for this guy, but I mean it's a really deep, great swivel. Here's the mushroom peg. Knee. You get about that far with the knee because of the back kibble on the leg, so it's not fantastic knees, and the thigh is really small and the leg is really long. If that puts you off, well, you're not going to like it. It doesn't really put me off too much. I think it's okay with this guy. Sometimes it puts me off, sometimes it don't. With this guy, not so much. And ankle tilt. There's a nice surprise. Ankle tilt. And for being a rather back-heavy figure, he stands and poses pretty much like a champ. So posability, playability, honestly, 9.5. Really good. A couple of little things. I mean, no waist articulation. Nothing at the wrist. Nah, nothing at the wrist. And you do have the backpack. Now, let's talk about this backpack for a second. You would think that this would be a lot more obtrusive. See, here's the thing. In the movie, in case you happen to not see it and are watching this review, in the movie, in robot mode, you don't see any truck pieces. It's just the robot. And when he transforms, because he was made on Earth by KISS, I don't know, whatever it was that made him, that group used cybertronium, transformium, some chemical that was able to morph. It was the weirdest transformation. It was not like a traditional transformation. It didn't go over great. Fans, for the most part, didn't like it. But, of course, they can't do that with the figure, so they need to find a way to incorporate the truck, but still keep the look of the robot. Well, they done it with a backpack, and you would think that, this whole cab really would be very obtrusive and stick way out. It doesn't. It folds up really, really nice. Some excellent engineering for how that folds up. It is kind of ingenious. Yes, it sticks out a little bit on the side. It does have a little bit of hindrance, but nothing that's going to do anyone any great harm. So paint apps to 3 because it just doesn't seem like Galvatron. Posability, playability, 9.5 because of a couple of little very minor gripes. So let's look at the transformation for this guy. Oh, by the way, before I do that, here is how he compares with the other Voyager leader, Evasion Mode Optimus Prime. They scale great. He looks, bulkier, beefier. And just with another Generations Deluxe, here is Springer. And I'm hoping to have a look at this guy in the somewhat near future. Great figure, by the way. Anyway, that's how he scales with a couple of, kind of popular, well-known modern-day Voyager classes. So, how do we start to transform this guy? Well, there's a few ways you could start. I'm going to start with the backpack. The backpack is kind of ingenious. There's a little, see if I can show it. There's a little tab right there. And there's a little kind of opening, slot, behind his head. In robot mode, that tab goes into that slot to lock the backpack so that it doesn't, go anywhere. And it works pretty good, to be honest with you. For as small as it is, it actually works quite well. It's also easy to get out when you want to transform him. So you take that out, and you pull the entire roof section down, and you pull out the entire cab. There are hinges here, and they'll just kind of naturally come out and lock in. And you straighten that up, and you take the tire piece and you fold it in, and you take the tire piece and you fold it in. And honestly, there's the cab pretty much done. I mean, I'm glad they didn't leave it like that. That would have been terrible. So what do we do next? Take the head and fold it all the way back. By the way, when you're going to robot mode and you fold this forward, it is very easy to come up and just stop right there. Push it forward until it clicks. Just listen. That click. That's what you're looking for. So we'll put this all the way back for now. That brings us to these arms. What are we going to do with these arms? Well, these arms basically fold up to go inside of the cab piece of the truck. And how do they do that? We open it. We bring the whole shoulder assembly, if I can do it here now. Maybe you don't want to work with me, do you? We do the same on this side, by the way. The whole shoulder assembly comes apart and goes in behind. The whole shoulder assembly comes apart and goes in behind. And you really just take these arms and I guess you could, as long as you can fold them up like this and push it back and fold up like this, you're golden. All of this now is in a nice little box, and the whole cab should just be able to come down over. Sometimes you got to. There we go. I just had to put the tires out. All that comes down over. So all we did was we put the head back, we folded the shoulders back, we jammed the arms in and put the cab out. And now we fold the whole cab piece down over and we put those front tires back in. That's the hard part done. That's as hard as this guy gets. Back here, what do? Well, we turn the legs so that the knees face each other and the tires are now on the outside. The feet fold up like that and fold up like that. And then the teeth back here should lock together. They lock together, but not great. This comes forward like this and tabs in. On this side, we fold the panel forward again and it tabs in beautifully. Boom. There he is, Galvatron in the Argosy cab over truck, if I'm right about that. He rolls like a champ. He looks fantastic. He really does. That is a very menacing, you see that coming down the road at you. It is a scary sight. It is extremely menacing. It would have been great for Megatron. It's an interesting, Earth alt mode for Galvatron. Certainly not the traditional kind of tank thing that this turns into. But yeah, really, really fantastic. You do have an opening here because of the legs, but again, unless you're looking down on top of them and you're looking at them side on, I mean, it's pretty convincing. So transformation Easy. The hardest part is balling the arms up, and that's really all you're doing is you're kind of just squeezing them in there. And it's not hard to do. Just put the shoulders back and squeeze the arms in as tight as you can to get the cab over. Honestly, transformation of 10. You know, this isn't mine. This belongs to one of the scraplets. You know, the kids can do this. The kids can do this, and they don't find it too hard, and, you know, it's great. But here's the one weakness in this mode, the weapon storage. I think it's just sad. And the kids even think it's just sad. You would think that there would be a nice way to store this, like, back here, and I guess you could take it and, you know, you can kind of lay it there. It does not lock in. You lay it there, it fills in that space. It's not bad, to be honest with you. It'd be great if that was the actual weapon storage. It's not the actual weapon storage. Here's the actual weapon storage. You have this handle down here, and you have a hole in the top. Now you could plug it in and have the gun facing back. That looks terrible. But here's how you're supposed to store it. And that, my friends, looks equally terrible. So, that being said, take that out. Don't ever put that up there. Lay it back here if you must store it somewhere, and just let it sit there. So we have a 3, we have a 9.5, and we have a 10. You know what? This guy scored a -87. That's how bad this is. -87. This guy? I'm not even going to mark him down too bad because of the paint apps. This guy's a decent figure. It is a good figure, a fun transformer. And for that, he's going to get a 9. For being a representation of Galvatron, he's still about a 3 because he is not Galvatron. He could have been a good Motormaster. He could have been a good Megatron. So, in the end, should you get this one? Hey, if you're into the movie line and you like the look of Galvatron in the movie line, do it. This guy is really good for that. He's excellent for that. If you're looking for a Galvatron that has that purple, that big orange cannon from the, you know, the old cartoon, don't get this guy. He's not going to fill that bill. If you're just into cool Transformers, get him. He's fun. You'll enjoy him. I'm pretty confident about it. Anyway, that does it for this guy. And we're marching on toward my look at the custom Age of Extinction Dinobots. But before then, we're going to have a look at one other little custom I did. And remember, I'm no professional customizer by any stretch of the imagination. Stay tuned because in the next review, we're going to have a little look at this guy and what I did with him to make him look a little more accurate. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, and I'll see you guys next time inside the videos.